So, how do you think about age? Yours? Maybe your parents, maybe your professors. If you want to go the other way, maybe your kids. But then let's go back to yours. If the only thing I know about you is your age, how much do I know? Do I know what makes you tick? Do I know about your wants and your needs? Do you want to be defined by your age? So different but related. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear or see the word aging? For many people, the thought of aging triggers thoughts of decline and challenge and loss. Thoughts of your parents or your grandparents, but not you. Well, the truth is, and I hate to break it to anybody who this is a surprise to in the room, but we are all aging. There's an old t-shirt I have from my time at AARP that says, it says GOOG, and it says, grow old. Everybody's doing it. But the good news for those of you who you think about aging and it starts to sort of make you a little nervous or anxious is that the way that we're changing, the way that we're aging is also changing. We're staying healthier longer so we can lead much longer, active lives. And we're filling those longer lives with all sorts of activities. Yes, we have to take care of ourselves, but we're also often taking care of kids or grandkids, maybe a spouse, maybe a neighbor. We're staying connected. We're doing things different that maybe we never had time to do in the past. We're doing things again. Maybe we're buying a new house. Maybe we're getting back into the dating pool. So we're just doing more, and we're not limited. So I think when you talk about aging, instead of focusing on aging that has so many negative connotations in our society today, we really just need to think about living. The convergence of longer life expectancy and technological advances is helping people live longer and better lives than ever before. With the average life expectancy these days, people who are turning 50 today have half of their adult life still ahead of them. And yet, most of our beliefs about aging and about that time of our lives has remained the same. Discriminating, limiting. Our beliefs as a society and likely as individuals view the process of aging as something to dread, to ridicule, to fight against. And who can blame us? I mean, we are bombarded every day with messages and images and ideas that help create a negative reality about aging. I mean, I expect most of us have either said or heard these things up on the screen. And if you think about the products, about the many products that are marketed to make me look, feel, and act anything but my age. Yesterday, I was just interested to see if I put in anti-aging into a search, what would pop up. And after my computer sort of exploded with excitement, I realized that, if I just put the right cream on my eyes and then a different cream on my neck and maybe another cream on the rest of my wrinkles, and then I hit a spa for some anti-aging treatments, and then I maybe pull on a pair of Spanx to lift everything back up, I'm going to look 25 again. And not really. But looking at the way that things are marketing for me, it's apparently what I want or should want. And the truth is, I loved my 20s. And for anyone who's 25, no offense, but I don't want to be 25 again. My 20s, my 30s, and now I'm in my 40s, every decade has been wonderful and challenging and full of things that are different. We change with every decade. And that doesn't stop when you hit your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. But what does stop is that society, we kind of start being less on people's team as we start to have those decades rack up and that number of our age get a little higher. So why aren't we finding ways to make life easier, less challenging for people as we age? The solutions aren't keeping up, and in fact, we blame limitations on just getting older, rather than switching that around and thinking about maybe the environment or that solution just doesn't fit for or work for someone anymore. We see these limiting approaches all around us to aging. So why do we live in a society that thinks that when we get to be 50, 60, 70, or 80, we no longer want cool choices and functional choices to make our lives easier? I reject that. And we have so much innovation happening all over this country and the world. I mean, people are trying to figure out how we can all connect to Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat or whatever it is you want to connect to a couple seconds faster because it makes us crazy if we can't. I mean, if you look at, how are we going to make new parents happier, make it easier on them, and make them look awesome? I mean, diaper bags now, you can have a guy walking down the street looking like a real man with a diaper bag because someone has taken the time to design that. Someone's taken the time to design strollers and all of those things for that stage in our life to make it easier and to make it sort of cool and fun. I was just the other day, it's that time of the year when we're all getting all kinds of catalogs in the mail for Christmas and holiday shopping. And so I was looking through this one, and there was this kind of cool thing, and I'm like, what is that? It was this beautiful bowl, and it was a pistachio dish. Well, and I'm like, well, really? And then I read the description, I'm looking at it, and it's a pistachio dish that's going to make it easier for all of us to eat pistachios. Because it has this beautiful dish that in the middle you put the pistachios with the shells, and then after you've eaten, you put the pistachio shell around the second dish. And actually, as a lover of pistachios, and I thought of other things with shells that I might use this beautiful, but I mean, the thing was, it was functional, it was beautiful, but it's a pistachio dish. And we have people spending time on very important things like polymers. But then we also have people thinking about things like pistachio dishes, and nothing is wrong with that, and I'm probably going to put it on my Christmas list. But it's time to take some of that energy and focus it on all of us as we age, because it's my choice to have a baby and be going out into the marketplace to get those products. It's my choice to be looking for a new vehicle and choosing the minivan because I have 6 kids and I'm very busy and I need to haul a lot of stuff. It's my choice to choose the pistachio dish or not. But guess what? It's not my choice to age. And this society needs to remember that, and all of us needs to remember that, and we need to do a better job of thinking through the systems and what we have around us to make this better. So my challenges to you is that we need to disrupt aging. At AARP, we talk about life after 50 as an age of possibilities. And disrupt aging, it's a rallying cry and a challenge from our CEO, Dahlin Jennings. She wants to change the conversation in this country around what it means to get older, because as I've said before, it really isn't about getting older. It's about how we live as we age. Joanne is someone, and she's inspired by her own or motivated by her own story. She worked in government for 25 years and then hit that time where she had that big decision to make. Should she do what people expect and retire because her husband was retiring, her kids were grown? That's what her parents did, and she had an incredibly successful career in government. Or she had this little voice in her head saying, I don't think I'm quite done yet. And she followed the voice. And she's happy that she did, and AARP's happy that she did, because she came to us in our foundation first, then came and was a COO, and then now is the CEO. But Joanne talks about disrupt aging because as she's been making choices in her life, she rejects the tradition and the fact that we all need to make the same choice. She embraces people that want to have the same traditional retirement, but it's all about choice. And that's what disrupt aging is all about. When I asked you all earlier about, how much I would know about you if I knew your age, do you want to be defined by your age? If you thought about those questions and really hope that you're not going to be defined strictly by your age, then you need to be a part of this. Because disrupt aging is simply about giving us all choice about how we age. So as part of this, we're going to challenge the outdated beliefs that aging is only about decline and challenges, and that older people are burdens. We've got to flip that on our head. There are challenges, yes, but with aging, there's growth, there's opportunities, and there's also, in our society, we need to remember and see every day the examples around us, how older people contribute to our society and make our communities a better place, our businesses more successful. We have to look at solutions. for health security, financial resilience, and also personal fulfillment. And for any students in the room who are looking for a career, there's a lot of opportunity here. And I would guess a lot of money to be made here if you can figure out some smart solutions. In health security, we need to shift from a focus on treatment to a focus on our overall well-being. We need to go from being overwhelmed patients who just are at the mercy of the system to being empowered users who are getting answers and getting the care we need. And we need to make sure that everyone has access to care when they need it and how they need it. When we think about financial resilience, we need to shift from, worrying about a depletion of finances over time to make sure that we have the resources we need and that we won't outlive them. The 50-plus workforce. People 50 plus, there's studies, there's all kinds of statistics. They have to fight twice as hard to keep a job. They have to work twice as hard to get a job oftentimes. But yet, they are a reservoir of experience, of knowledge that can contribute hugely to a business or an organization. And finally, with Social Security, it has challenges. We absolutely need to make it solvent and adequate for current and future beneficiaries. And in personal fulfillment, we need to help people get unstuck and to get through transitions. That second part of your adulthood, there's a lot of things that can happen. Loss, yes, but there can also be, new relationships, new experiences, starting a new business maybe you never had time for or never had the guts to try before. So we need to help people get unstuck. We need to help people make connections, and we need to make sure people don't become isolated. The disrupt aging approach can build a society where people are valued because of who they are and not judged by how old they are. And older people won't be forced to navigate a world that was designed neither by them or for them. And for each of us in this room, new beliefs can enable all of us to have more choice as we age. And new solutions can be created so that we have options to choose when we're ready. We can choose more fearlessness. We can choose more possibilities. This starts with each of us. So in conversations that we all have, what beliefs can we challenge? In our work or in our conversations, what new solutions can we spark? In everything we do, what possibilities can we see for each other instead of limiting things for each other? And now for the students in the room, what if your generation was a generation that ends ageism and leads on this conversation and helps to develop the products and the services and the policies that can serve us all as we age? Because if you want your aging to feel and actually be different, then you better get started with disrupting aging now. Thank you.